Hello, everybody. I'm Jacqueline Menconi, and I'm a makeup artist in the New York metro area. And this is the Business Savvy Makeup Artist webinar series. This is episode 18. I cannot believe it. A little bit about me. Like I said, makeup artist in the New York metro area. I do makeup for commercials, television, and bridal, and I also custom blend cosmetics. And I also have, of course, Leigh Raeder, the lovely Leigh Raeder with me. Leigh, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm like she said, I'm Leigh Raeder. I am in the Wisconsin area, and I've been in the cosmetology industry for a couple decades now. And I focus mainly on educating. I'm a national educator, and I still work with the everyday client, more with just the makeup artistry end of things. And I'm really, really excited today because we have another artist from Wisconsin, Melody, and her love for makeup actually started back in 2008 when she was working in the cosmetics department at a Nordstrom's. And she was also in college for photography, and then she decided to switch gears and focus her career on the art and science of makeup. So fast forward a few years, and Melody actually opened up her bridal makeup and commercial photo shoots for local businesses. And then she decided her love for proper skincare and makeup application. So she decided to go back to school and get her aesthetics license. So now she is an independent spa owner and loves being her own boss. And thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to have you. And welcome to our Business Savvy Makeup Artist webinar series.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
So I guess I will start out with the first question. We got a little bit of your background, like when you started, but I want to hear in your own words, you know, what were you passionate about, and like how did that happen? Did working at the makeup counter just kind of trigger that, or did you always have a love for it? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So when I was working at the Nordstrom cosmetic department back in 2008, I was in college for photography. So I'm one to want to be the best at what I do, and I want to learn all angles of it. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to college for photography. I want to learn how to do makeup, and maybe if there's a need, I want to be able to provide that in case I'm on a photo shoot and I'm the photographer and the makeup artist doesn't show up. Like, I want to feel confident that I could do that. And I got into modeling a little bit too, just so I knew what it was like on the other end of the camera. Not that I consider myself a model, it was just more of like education. And as I was working with women one-on-one and learning more from national artists, from really big name brands at Nordstrom, I really kind of fell in love with that one-on-one interaction and the art of it. And so I just kind of went from there, and I didn't continue on my education with photography after a year, and then decided to grow and learn more about makeup artistry. And now here I am.
Awesome. So, okay. So that's interesting. So photography to makeup counter to where you are now. Give us an idea. We have people tuning in, Melody, of all ages, of all experiences. Oh, yes, by the way, so sorry. Can we cheers?
Oh,
Cheers.
Come on, get it together. Cheers. You. Okay, so on to the question.
Love it.
People of all different experience levels, all different industry specialties, just like beauty professionals from everywhere tuning in. My question to you today is a little bit different than maybe what we've asked in previous webinars. So, and that is when you were going through the process of transitioning your profession, did you ever get people that were questioning your decision? And you don't have to be, specific in telling us who was, telling you yes or no or whatever. But
Mhm.
just like, I feel like this is something, and I was just talking about this with somebody else earlier, and I feel like this is a theme amongst our industry. And that is that people don't necessarily always take it as seriously, like it's a real industry, like it's a real profession. So when you
Mhm.
were going through that transition, were you lucky and had surrounding people that were like, go, go, go? Or did you have people that were like, well, are you sure you want to do this?
I think maybe it was different for me because I was working at a cosmetic department with women that had been there for 15 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they didn't call themselves a professional makeup artist. Some of them just simply knew enough to be able to sell a product. And then there are other women there that did bridal full time, or they did commercial, or they did bigger scale things outside of the cosmetic department. So I feel like for me, I had a group of women that were there to encourage me. Um, and my family's in Milwaukee, so I was living in Minnesota at the time. So I didn't really have that family support right there. I just had a bunch of women that were like, okay, like, what do we need to do? And so anytime there was an opportunity to learn from a national artist, or there was an extra class, or any extra education on skincare, I mean, I was the first person to sign up and want to learn more about it. So I think because I was in that environment just from work, it kind of, I was lucky that way.
Yeah, I think that's
You
great.
are
I
lucky.
think that's great. Yeah, because I feel like not everybody is put into a situation where they're surrounded by, cheerleaders, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that's
It was
great.
hard when I moved back home, though. I will say that. So when I moved back home to Milwaukee, at first I was just trying to figure out, okay, I was going to college for photography and spending 30 grand a year on trying to figure that out. And I'm like, wow, this is really expensive. Like, let's just switch gears here a little bit. And I'm just, a naturally artistic person, and it kind of runs in my family. So it was really trying to figure out, okay, I'm home now and I'm in a different environment. I'm not working in a department of women that have the same mindset as me. So it was a lot of working for free, a lot of doing different trades with local photographers, or it was a lot of networking, and just really putting myself out there. So it was really kind of a struggle at first, but I definitely had to push myself out of my comfort zone so that when I was back home and while I'm figuring out where do I want to take this, I did a lot of experimenting, meeting new people, did a lot of stuff for free. So it was definitely a period of time where it was a lot of trial and error.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. You mentioned you were kind of the one that was always eager to sign up for all the classes. Is that how you got all of your makeup artistry training, or tell us a little bit about how you went to the classes or what training you have, and even aesthetic school?
So for Nordstrom, and this is so long ago, so I don't remember it like completely, but they would have like a national artist come in for the public, and then people would sign up. Let's say it was for MAC or Chanel, Smashbox, Laura Mercier, all these national artists that would travel to different department stores, and provide extra education for the employees in the department, and then they would venture that out, and then they would offer, a quick makeup lesson for somebody that's going to pay like $50. So I have, I guess, makeup education through that. I didn't go to school for makeup. And so fast forward from 2008 to 2010, and then I went back to school just last year. So it was a really big gap between, taking, like, not going to school. So it was a big adjustment for me being with much younger women, and then even women that were older than me that had children as far as aesthetic school goes. And they talked about makeup a little bit. It was an Aveda concept, and they have a whole line, so it was like a little, a one chapter thing. But if anything, I felt like because I'd been in the industry already for 8+ years, that I felt I had a bit of an advantage. And people came to me, which was such a blessing, that they trusted me to ask questions, or how do I do this? We had like one-on-one makeup lessons with each other, and like, Melody, what do I do? I'm like, well, if the teacher doesn't mind, I'm happy to help. And I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious on, that's one of the things I get asked by a lot of makeup artists is like, where do I go for education? How do I get that experience? How do I get the training? They're just like so hungry for it. And so, yeah, that definitely answers. So some of it was really, you just self-taught yourself in a way as well, just through, grabbing the different educators.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yes,
I love how you said that you were like always the first one to sign up for a class when a national artist came to town or whatever. Let's kind of piggyback on that for a sec and talk about the attitude that we must either have or we must develop. And by attitude, I don't mean like, all right, but I mean like, the personality traits that we have to, the character traits that we have to develop and really craft in order to be good at what we do, and also really just like professionals. So if you can kind of touch on that, and maybe if your personality slightly changed a little bit over the years as you were growing into this profession, you can talk about that.
So that's a great question, because in this industry, you kind of have to be everything. So there's times where you need to be the leader and front and center and take charge and like, okay, delegate, this is what we're going to do. And then there's times where you have to act invisible. And so I feel like, well, I'm the middle of 5, and it was like, hey, I'm too old for this, or I'm too young for that. So I was kind of like caught literally in the middle. So I think because of my upbringing, I was a little bit more like, hey, pay attention to me, I'm right here, like, hey, I'm gonna play with you, like, let's do this together. And then as I got older, I got a little bit more outgoing, and then there was a time where I was very to myself, I was more timid, I was more quiet, just kind of like, you're a young teenager figuring out who you are. And then as I started working, and then when I got into working at a cosmetic department, and I had a sales goal. I worked on a commission. I was very competitive, so I was really forced to talk to strangers and pitch and pull people out of the aisle from the shoe department and say, hey, let me put this lipstick on you, I think it'd be amazing. So I definitely, as I got older, was forced to be more outgoing, because I feel like if you're not willing to put yourself out there, then you're not going to see anything in return. So, and now that I'm a business owner, I have my own spa, it's taken a long time to get to where I am today, and a lot of it is really going out of my comfort zone and pushing myself to be a little bit more outgoing than I may like to be. But that just develops, even in time and as you mature. And it's been a lot of personal growth and development since I've been in the industry over the last, almost 10 years.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how you mentioned, stepping out of your comfort zone, because I'm sure when you first started, you were like, what? I have to like go pull people and put lipstick on them? Like,
all people that I didn't know.
You had to, though. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but the more you did it, the more that you probably learned from it, and the more comfortable it got, and you gained so much knowledge and experience, which probably helped you tremendously, like you said, open your own spa and be a business owner. And because you have to be, you kind of have to be a hustler, you have to be a go-getter, you have to really, make the decision that, you're gonna do this and make it work. So I applaud you. That is absolutely amazing. So what made you decide to open your own spa?
I didn't even know I was going to. It's so crazy. Sometimes life changes a little bit at a time, and sometimes they happen in very drastic ways. And 2016 was a year of a lot of drastic change for me. Major year of personal growth, business growth, relational growth, and it ended up being where I was given an opportunity. One door was closing in my career, and then one door was like opening, and like, do I go in, or do I like close it? Or do I crawl through the window? Like, it's crazy how some things happen. So when I went to aesthetic school, I didn't know that I wanted to for sure own my own spa. I still am figuring it out. It's only been a couple months. But I knew that I wanted to meet my current clientele at a deeper level as far as skincare and facials and things like that go. So, especially with my brides, they had so many questions on skincare, and I would refer them to other estheticians, but now that I'm an esthetician, I can do that myself. So it's figuring out, where am I going to do that? How do I go about doing that? And how do I do that in a way where I have control over everything? I've never been a very good employee. That sounds really bad. Because I like taking charge, and if I feel like this is the way that it should be, and I feel confident in that decision, I don't want anyone to stifle that. So I felt like, okay, I've already owned my own makeup business for however many years, and I love having control over my time and my schedule and my finances and what products and services that I offer. So I thought, well, I have an opportunity to continue that in aesthetics. I'm just going to empty my savings account and do it. And I did. And so it was a major leap of faith, and I'm learning as I go. I'm figuring things out as I go. It definitely didn't happen the way that I thought it would, because it happened so quickly. It's like, oh, I have a spa, and now I need to figure out my services, and I need to buy this, and I need to buy that. Whereas normally you have all that set up, and marketing, and then it's like, hi, everybody, I'm open, come look at all this stuff. So it's definitely been kind of a different journey for me, but I'm still very blessed to be learning and growing. I'm just like a sponge for everything. So, yeah.
Exciting.
Well, that's
exciting.
What you're speaking, and we have a couple of people writing in, and Nasa, who is from Massachusetts, she says, I'm the same as far as control and being a bad employee. Haha. So guys, if there are other people tuning in live, if more of you tuning in live can relate, then definitely type into the questions section, okay?
I'm pretty much unemployable at this point.
I'm totally unemployable.
Cheers, ladies.
With the whole
unemployment. There we go.
Oh my God.
And I'll tell you one thing. Being a former salon owner for, I had my salon for 12 years. It's always, you never know what you're doing at all times. You just have to do whatever you kind of feel. And seriously, you have to just be kind of on your game and just go with the flow, and you'll be great. It'll be a great adventure, and I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you, because that's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
thrilled for you. And you're gonna do so well. You know, we've met in person, Melody, and I just know that you have such great posture with yourself. So, and I think that's also a little bit of the battle too, right? You have to kind of believe in yourself when others may not yet. Not necessarily the fake it till you make it, but like kind of.
Hmm.
So,
Sort of.
yeah, I think you definitely come across when you meet you in person as a professional, as somebody who knows what they're talking about, as an expert in the field. So I'm sure that you're going to do very, very well where you are right now. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Definitely an up and down right now. Well, with just being so new and even learning services that normally, let's say you're at a spa like lash extensions, I don't have anyone with me to guide me through it as I'm doing it. I'm on my own. And I'm a part of support groups on Facebook, specifically, for example, for lash extension. So I'm constantly asking questions. I'm constantly reading and learning from other people. So it has the I would say disadvantage because I am like completely self-reliant and I don't have somebody like right next to me, but that the the fact that I'm here and it's mine and I have complete control of that completely outweighs, the challenges for sure.
Right. Well, and speaking of
Yeah.
Facebook and social media, I would love to kind of transition into that next question. So, we talk a lot about social media and the pros and cons, if there are cons, to it. And I'd love to ask your opinion on advertising or promoting on social media, just social media presence in general. How important do you think it is, and in cultivating relationships with your clients and potential clients?
Absolutely. Time has changed, even in, I would say, the last 2 years, and I'm sure you ladies can relate, as far as what a big deal social media has become for big business and small business like us. And I feel like it's such a great opportunity to reach a bigger crowd of people. For example, even what we're doing right now, we're able to connect with people from all around the country instead of trying to meet in person at a coffee shop in the middle of the country, hope that everybody can show up. So this, I feel like, what I'm saying, it's just like a whole nother world. Like, yeah, Skype, I guess, was around maybe, 10 years ago, but I feel like I'm able to share more information in a bigger scale. I'm able to, I guess when it comes, like if I have a service special, I'm able to make something a little like pretty and put it on the internet, and I'm able to get so many people in all different walks of life, whether we're friends on Facebook or not, as opposed to just putting up a flyer at Starbucks across the street. I mean, you may have people see it and you may not, but at least with social media, that someone will see it and share it, and then that'll be, shared with their 2,000 friends, and then that could be seen by another 1,000 people that you didn't even know existed. So it's definitely great for more of a global reach of sharing information that you have, or sharing services, or sharing product, or whatever.
Agreed.
And so, yeah, that's great. You're utilizing social media. Do you do any other forms of advertising to get new clients in the door, or do you just focus on mainly social media?
A lot of my, I guess, business comes from referrals, word of mouth. Um, I'm on a website for bridal, and so I have bridal clients that come to me and say, hey, this is my wedding day. These are the amount of people. This is all the information. Like, what do you have to offer? So now that I have my spa, I put in there, hey, this is what I offer for makeup, but I'm also an esthetician, and this is my spa location. And as a special incentive too for my brides, they receive discounted services for their first time as an incentive to kind of pull them in. So I do that. I'm in a suite, it's what we call it the Wellness Center. I'm with 2 other massage therapists. And so if I have a client who needs a great massage therapist, I have 2 to refer them to, and vice versa. They know if they hear anything from their clients or anyone that they know, that they would refer them to me, and it's in the same building as where they go anyway, so it's not like it's somewhere like big and new, and they're trusted because they know that I wouldn't be renting from, you know, my girlfriend who owns the building if she didn't trust me. I'm still working on more marketing outside of social media, still figuring those things out now, but definitely word of mouth, and then through my It's the Knot, I get a lot of business from there too.
I think word of mouth and referral is so valuable because people, you know, I mean, people will trust other people's reviews or their advice on who to go to, and especially when it comes to, you know, skincare and lashes and waxing and, you know, all those things, you want to go to somebody that you know is going to be good. So I think that's great that you do a lot through referral. That's very smart.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Can I add to that?
So,
I'm going to add to that real quick. So, for example, there's the option to share a post. So I have some clients that come to me for some services that they've experienced, or maybe I've posted a little video that I did of their service, which they knew about. And then I posted it on my page, and then they will share that with the information of what the service or the product is. And then they'll say, everyone is asking why my skin has changed so much, and, you know, all the new products that I'm using. Go to this girl, she knows what she's talking about, or I love, like, I'm so relaxed, please go here. And so my clients that I'm connecting with on social media are then able to share specifically the services that they're receiving on their Facebook page. So it's like a whole nother, you know, outreach with sharing other people's posts.
yeah, it's so valuable, right? So valuable, and by the way, free. Hello. Right? Free advertising. Free advertising. Gotta love it. So you've said a couple times, you know, you've talked about products. And so we usually ask people about their thoughts on retailing as an additional income source. You know, you have a storefront now. You have a spa. Do you retail products? What kind, you know, are you excited about retailing products? Are your clients excited about you retailing products? You know, give us some idea of what you do with that.
So as far as holding an inventory here, I try to keep that at a minimal. I do retail. I have the ability to do custom orders online and just get shipped right to their house. And so that gives them the ability and me the ability to have access to all these different products rather than me spending thousands of dollars and having everything on my shelf. And I know that the company can just do that for me. But for those, a couple of things where I know somebody would just want something super quick right away that day. Actually, the shelf behind me, on the top I have a moisture cleanser, and then on the bottom I have a handful of the new Motives Fiber Lush mascara before they sold out. So I have a couple of people like, first come, first serve. I have one that's a tester. I was like, oh, I really want this for myself, but I need to have it as a tester. So actually, that's what I have on my lashes today. I use that tester, you know, disposable mascara one, gotta stay sanitary. So I do only have those 2 things. I will be adding a lash serum for my clients that want to do lash extensions, but their lashes aren't strong enough for them. So we'll get them on a lash serum regimen for a couple months, and then they're able to get that service. So, I mean, I want to keep it minimal here, but I do retail a lot of wellness products, skincare, and then obviously cosmetics. And then I'm able to do that online, so I don't have to worry about having a bunch of stuff in like my closet or my garage. It's just less of an investment.
Well, that's really interesting that you say that because I've never owned a spa. I'll never own a spa. I'm not a cosmetologist. I'm not an esthetician, so I can't. But from what I understand from Leigh, who obviously is a master cosmetologist, she's owned a salon for 12 years, been in the industry forever. But and other people, I feel like I hear a lot of the retailing part of salon and spa businesses, the minimum orders are so large in certain products that you have to keep in store to retail. So when you say that you don't have to keep and you don't want to, you want to keep it minimal, how do you go about doing that if there are so many companies out there that ask for such a strong investment up front and like I guess whatever the minimum is or whatever? I don't know what I'm talking about. You're in the business, so you know what you're talking about. So you just tell me what's going on.
Minimum order. They can be thousands and thousands of dollars depending on the company for a minimum order or opening intro. But yeah, if you want to touch on that, Melody, and explain how you are able to do that, where you can just drop ship it to your clients, because I think that's a huge thing.
It helps me meet where they're at and what they need more specifically when I'm able to go online, and each product will have a description of what it is, all of the benefits, all the ingredients, why those ingredients are there and what they're going to do for you, the science behind it, frequently asked questions, just all of this great information. I don't have to print all that out and have it all at my spa, and I don't have to have that in my professional makeup kit. It's all online for me. So why try to fix something if it's not broken? So there really is such a great advantage for me to have access to such great quality skincare. My clients love that I use cruelty-free, paraben-free cosmetics and skincare. And it helps so much, especially with it just being me. Like, I don't have a small business loan. I don't have a credit card. It's just me and the money that I've saved. So it helps tremendously to not have to worry about spending $2,000 every couple months on, let's say, some skincare that I have like 4 bottles of already. Like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? So it helps financially, and it just helps with not having to worry about printing off all this information, and it's right online. So it's super easy.
Yeah,
so,
no, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so what Melody is basically saying is she's partnered with a company that allows her to have a website that has all of the products that she offers in her spa, which includes skincare, the cosmetics, the health and nutrition, which I'm glad you brought up because that is huge, especially in the spa industry, because you can only do so much on the outside, and if they are not healthy in the inside, you have to help them fix that, because that's going to come out in their skin and, their hair and their health and things like that. So this company that you're partnered with, it gives you this website, and you have like some back bar products that you use on your clients. And if they want a take-home regimen, you can actually go on your website, order the products, it gets shipped right to your customer, and then you get the retail profit basically. So you don't have to carry it all on your shelves. It doesn't sit there. It's not, you don't have like 20 different cleansers that you're trying to retail out. And so it allows you to be able to match the perfect products up to your clients. And, the shipping is pretty fast too. It comes pretty quick, so they don't have to wait too long. But I think, what we need to touch on too is it's important because a lot of makeup artists, I know that Jacqueline has this too. As we work with makeup artists and, you know, professionals in the field, some of them are like, well, I don't know if I really want to retail anything, but people are wanting to purchase things that they can use at home to keep up with their skincare routine in between visits with you. They want makeup that's good quality. They're looking for these things. So it's not per se like you're pushing product on us. It just sort of is a natural thing that happens when you're with them. They're like, okay, what can I do at home? Especially these brides, because the brides come to you and they have only so much time to get their skin on track for their big day. And so they're looking like, okay, what do I use? And people are so confused out there. They're going to the retail shelves and they're just looking and they're just grabbing whatever, and it may not be the right thing. So I think that in itself is so valuable and priceless. And then your customers or your clients can actually even go to your website afterwards as well and order those products too. It's not even you necessarily always putting in the order for them, right?
Right, exactly. No, that's such a great point. Before I was an esthetician, and I was still had the ability to order things, or my clients would order things on my website. But for the day of a wedding, I would still have a handful of different formula lip colors and different lip kits and touch-up kits for them to purchase right then and there. But because I'm using the products that I have access to and they have access to online and on my business site, is they are experiencing those products and they say, how do I have this at home? Like, I love how my skin felt. I didn't feel like I was wearing anything. My skin was glowing. I got so many compliments. Like, what do I do to have this at home? And then after her wedding and honeymoon and things kind of settle down, or even before, we figure out what they need and then find out what color works, and then we just order it. And I can't remember what you said, but it sparked something about the wellness. And now that I'm an esthetician, like, I can see when something is going on, and I'm still learning and developing and figuring these things out as I go. But I can normally tell if there's something going on the inside because it's showing on their face. And so I had a client the other day. She came in, she was coming in for one of my aesthetic services, and we talked for a half an hour, and I learned that she has MS and she's taking all these drugs, and she goes in for injections of different vitamins just to try to keep her body healthy, and she says how much she hates it. And then we did her spa service, and when we were done, I mean, she bought $400 worth of health and wellness products because she understands that, well, we talked about quality and like why it would work for her, and I didn't tell her, you know, stop taking your drugs, make sure you consult with your doctor. I'm not trying to tell you that whatever we're going to use is going to cure you, but it's a great add-on to whatever you're experiencing. So it's just one of those simple things where listening to what's going on with the client. And then when I saw her skin, I could see, like, yeah, you are on a lot of medication because of whatever situation I was seeing with her skin. And so now I can see the development over time while she adjusts medications and wellness, and then incorporating in some nice, healthy, quality skincare. So they play hand in hand for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and I'm so glad you said all of that. So, all right, so we've talked about products, we've talked about retail, but what we kind of haven't really made clear was which company you're partnered with. I know you mentioned Motive's Fiber Lush Mascara before, but I just want to make very clear, when you're talking about the health and wellness, the makeup, and the skincare that you are able to retail in your spa, is that all under the same partnership with Motives, or are you talking about different companies?
All the same. So it's like a big umbrella, and then a bunch of different flowers in the garden are all just hanging out under this umbrella. I'm just coming up with this to try to explain it as I go. It's a visual.
Garden.
So, motives is the rose. No. So I am so corny. Okay. Anyway, so yes, it's under one big company, and I have access to pharmaceutical grade supplements, pharmaceutical grade weight loss products, supplements for your pets, skincare, coffee, cleaning supplies, baby supplements, baby care, obviously cosmetics and things of that nature. So, I mean, there's a ton of different multi-billion-dollar industries that I have access to under one company, that I'm able to meet my clients' needs more than just me being a makeup artist and more than just me being an esthetician. It meets them like their whole lifestyle. So I could help somebody purchase something in one order, all these different things in these different departments, and it all gets shipped from the same place, and then they're like, sweet, now I don't have to go to the grocery store for this. Or I don't have to go to Target for that. It just came straight from the company, gets shipped to your house, and it's like Christmas at your door a couple times a week.
That is nice. That is really nice. I know we had a question. Someone is asking that, she's wondering if you have a hard time retailing, because a lot of times people want that instant gratification, and if they have to wait to get it, to their house or sent to them, how long is the shipping time, and do you ever have issues with that as far as people wanting it right then and there?
I have never had that problem because they know, and I tell them up front, whatever you need and whatever we decide we should get you started on, it's a custom order, and it'll get shipped right to your house. It'll take a couple days, depending on the day of the week. So if it's ordered on Friday, it's not going to get processed until Monday. You may not get it until Wednesday or Thursday. So they're fine. They're fine waiting. They know, and they're excited to have really great quality products, whatever department that's in, and they don't mind waiting a couple days because they would rather not run to Walgreens or Target or the mall to pick up whatever they need. They'd rather go without because they're sick of doing that, and now they want to move forward. And if that means waiting a couple days, they're fine. I've never had a complaint.
And I can speak from my experience as well. I think we're offering them a service where we're meeting with them, we are taking care of them, we're really listening, we're creating that relationship, we're putting together, like you said, a custom order just for them. I've never had an issue with it either, and people are so excited when it comes. They'll be posting pictures oh my gosh, look what came, I'm so excited. And, a lot of the people that I meet with, I'm doing their makeup and I'm teaching them, I'm giving them lessons. They can feel, they know they already love it. So it's almost just oh my gosh, I can't wait until it comes. But I mean, like you, I'll keep some impulse buy items, in stock or whatever. But for the most part, I have almost everything shipped to them as well. And I don't know if Jacqueline wants to answer that question too, just from your experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But especially all over the country. So I'm in New Jersey. I'm on the East Coast, and the headquarters of the company is also on the East Coast. So the slowest anything's ever gotten to me has been 3 or 4 days. The slowest. It's always really, really quick. And I know that my clients out in California or my clients in Canada or wherever they are, maybe Canada is a little bit different because it's going out of the country. But even in California, which is on the complete opposite side of the country, they still get their order within about a week, maybe a full 7 days, maybe 8 days, but that's kind of normal. And they can also choose to have expedited shipping if they want to. So it's never really that big of a deal. I don't know that anybody in my life has ever complained about it. Just like you said, Leigh, they're just really excited about it. They're excited for their stuff to come, And then once it does get there, they're just thrilled. They're so thrilled. So yeah, I mean, it's never been an issue for me. But that was such a great question from, I think that was Nesa again.
And really,
and guys, remember that if you're tuning in, definitely ask questions whenever you want to. We have another 12 minutes, so we'll get to as many questions as we can after.
And I did want to piggyback on what you said, because honestly, we have the ability to have customers all over the world. I've had customers move away, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, am I still going to be able to get my stuff?" Oh yeah, you can just go on my website. We'll actually pay you cash back to buy it, and it's going to be shipped right to you. I have a client in Alaska, and hers is usually they do it like over or two-day ship because they do it on a plane or whatever. But that gives us the ability to have those clients all over. Whereas if I was just a working makeup artist with no line to retail, I'm only as good as the last states that I did, and if I'm not behind the chair, I don't have any income coming in. So I think it's kind of valuable when you look at it that way too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What's your next question, Jacqueline?
Well, hold on one second.
Was there another question?
Would you have the gals say their website so I can take a look at them? Sure, Tammy K. I'll do you one better, lady friend. I'm going to put them up, and I'm going to screen share them for you. All right? Let me know, Tammy, if you can let me know back in the question section that you can see it, okay?
Is that my Tammy?
I don't know. It might be.
I can't see who's typing.
That's okay. Yes, I can see them. Thank you. Tammy K. Tammy K, are you Melody's Tammy K? So, all right. So my next question to you is your decision-making process, Melody. So you chose to go with, to partner with Motives and all the, Motives in general with the huge company behind it and all of that. Were you looking at any other lines? Because, of course, Motives is not the only retailable line that you could carry. But I'd love to know your thought process behind going with Motives, and if you had checked out other lines, whether you say the names of the lines or not, that's up to you. But if you were looking into other lines, what deterred you and what made Motives stand out to you?
So with working at Nordstrom for so long, I had the ability to try all of these different lines that were sold at a store that you could also order online. But it's known for you go to the store, you buy your makeup, your skincare, and then you leave with it. So I guess I can understand her question from earlier, as you're so used to the instant gratification. So with that, I lost my train of thought.
No, that's okay. No,
No. Yes, I got it. It's right here. So for a long time, somebody that I was friends with, she pretty aggressively tried to have me join her direct selling business, Mary Kay, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. I know my mom sold it for 2 seconds when I was like 15. And I tried the product. It just wasn't something that I personally enjoyed. And I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a very good faker. So if I'm going to be a part of something, and even when I was working at Nordstrom, like I wanted to know that it worked for me, and I wanted to know that it was great quality. So I felt like, okay, this isn't something that I would even use. Why would I partner with this home-based business and this direct selling company when I don't even want to use it myself? How am I going to be able to be successful? So that didn't work out. She was still pretty persistent for a while. Not anymore. And then when I was presented the option of motives and incorporating that into my current business, I was like, okay, I gotta try it first, because you can't get it in the store. You can't go to Nordstrom or Macy's or Boston Store to get it. So I had the opportunity to try it firsthand. I tried it on a couple of girlfriends. I tried it on myself, and I fell in love. It was like a dream. It blended like a dream. The pigment was really strong. You didn't need a lot of it to go a long way. And as a makeup artist, even just financially, I can't be buying a new foundation every couple months. Like, I need it to last in my kit and even for myself. So when I learned more about it, I loved the opportunity that it gave me to further help women more one-on-one. And I loved the opportunity that it gave me. It was such an easy transition because I'm already going to be using it on myself, and I love it. I'm already going to be incorporating it into my professional makeup kit, so they're going to experience it firsthand, and now I have the added bonus of retailing those products to my clients. So it's just like a full circle of happiness for everybody.
Well, the quality is if you guys that are on the call have not tried it yet, the quality, almost every single person that I put it on, they notice right away. They're like, it feels amazing. How much is it? Because they're expecting it to be, extremely expensive, and it's such a high quality at such an affordable, medium price that I think we retail a lot more that way too, because they're like, oh my gosh, I want all of it. Just put it all, order it all and have it sent to my house. Because, but that's great to hear about the other brands, and you've had experience with them, and I think that's really valuable that you learned that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. And we have somebody saying yes, amen. And I think that was in reference to when you said that you're not a faker, you can't sell something that you don't believe in.
Yes, and I have a lot of women that are interested in learning more about the business aspect, and like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to bother people. It's just not my personality. And I'm thinking, like, I'm the same way, but I sell so much product, and I'm not even really trying. Like, the product sells itself, and I use pretty much everything. So with that personal testimony, like, I can say, hey, I've been there and I've done that and I've tried it, and I'm sometimes honest to a fault. So I feel like with this, because I love it so much, it works to my advantage because they see my passion and they see my excitement for it, and they know that I'm a perfectionist, and they know that I'm not a faker, and they know I'm not a salesperson, that they're like, I believe you. Like, do whatever you want. I'll buy whatever. Just tell me what to do.
Just take all my money.
You'll buy it.
Just don't tell my husband.
And that too, just like, honestly, to find a company that has so many products and so, all within the skincare and makeup that you like. Before I found this brand, I never found a brand where I like almost everything. I always had like a hodgepodge of different products because I never found a brand that gave me all of that. But the product brokerage concept that the brand has, we're able to actually go to manufacturing to get the products that we want. So the company listens to, us professionals in the field, and they're like, okay, whatever you need, we'll get the best of the best. Where I think that in itself is priceless. I don't have to do the research on what products are moving and what people are looking for. They just come out with it and give it to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I love that aspect for sure. So we have about 3 more minutes right now. I just want to remind anybody that's writing in, if you do have any questions specifically for Melody or even for Leigh or myself, please go ahead and type them in right now. Leigh, was there another question that you had for Melody?
No, go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
No, I don't think so.
Love it.
Okay, well, all right, let me see. So, Melody, what is what is your advice to people who are just starting out, maybe you're in a similar position as you, as in not just starting out in the industry necessarily, but just starting out as a new business owner, a new like a spa owner, or maybe they are just starting out in the industry in general, or you know what? Maybe they're not just starting out in the industry. Maybe they're an industry veteran and they're just a little bit stale. They're feeling a little stale and they need to like amp that up. I almost cursed for sure. I definitely almost cursed. I stopped myself. What would your advice be just in general for people who need to amp their stuff up?
Oh my God, I love it. Put that wine down. So, to answer your question, it's all about having multiple streams of income and being able and having the ability to earn money even when you're not working. So, as an esthetician and a makeup artist, I use this and this a lot. And sometimes, you know, and Leigh, I'm sure you can relate, and even Jacqueline, I'm sure you can relate too, is you have a lot of stuff to carry all the time, you get worn out. You need like massages and chiropractors just to function in life and survive and do your job. So what happens if I sprain my wrist? What happens if I like fall down and like, you know, bust an eye or something? I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'm not able to work. So to have the ability to still earn an ongoing income and have that leverage of more than just a retail profit, I feel like it just is smart business to have something ongoing even when you're not working. And then when you are working and you are having that personal connection with that client, that you're able to meet their needs outside of that treatment room, that you're able to meet them in multiple different industries when they're at home. And so it's really being a mall without walls for your clients and for that one-on-one connection. And they already trust you. They're already spending money with you. They already enjoy seeing you for a reason. So why not continue that in just a broader spectrum? And then it helps them. They're getting great quality. They have excellent products now. And then you are earning multiple streams of income on top of that without even really having to try that hard. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I think that's excellent advice. I really don't have anything else to add to that, but Leigh, that was really great advice.
Well, I think everyone needs to ask themselves, like, if I'm not behind the chair or in front of the chair or, you know, doing things with my hands, will my income stop? You know, I mean, and if you say, yeah, pretty much, then, I mean, this is something that you may want to look into, because not only on top of the retail profit, we're structured more like a franchise where you actually get commissions from the company as well, and that really becomes, you know, very, very significant income. So I think you're smart for that, because being in the industry as long as I have been, I can't work like I used to. I can't work 13 hours behind the chair anymore because I've beat up my body too long, and unfortunately felt the effects of that. So I think it's something you need to do before you need it. Because you can't plan, like you said, for when things are going to happen, because we just don't know what tomorrow brings. So I want to just invite everybody who is on the webinar, watching it replay or whatever, whoever invited you to the webinar, you know, get back with them or contact them if you do want more information on what this company is and what we're doing, because I'm sure they'd be happy to share a little bit more, and you can see if it's something that can fit into your profession as well.
Oh, I love Leigh. I love Leigh so much. I just love when she talks. Thank you so much.
We're going to the hour.
Yeah, I feel like we could ask you so many more questions, and now that we're winding down, we have to close out now. We're 2 minutes over. Um, but now, of course, I have like a million more questions in my mind for you that I forgot to ask, of course. So maybe we'll have to have you on again in the future, if that's
Yeah,
okay with you.
be fun.
But thank you so much. And I just realized too that I didn't update the graphic with my new info on it, so I'm just gonna splurt it out right now. It's my new website is Jax with two X's makeup.com, jaxmakeup.com, and then my Instagram handle is at jax_makeup. So just throwing that out there. I will update the graphic for next time. Everybody else's info is the same.
Yes.
Joking on nothing.
Keep,
Thank you guys.
yeah, and keep following us because we're going to keep on doing webinars, and we announce when we're going to do them on our pages. So follow us to find out when the next one is.
Yes, yes, yes. Thanks again, Melody. Appreciate it so much.
Yes,
and
thank
guys,
you.
have a great night, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.